Hello, this is a Character Zero session for What's Your Damage? This one is focusing on what led Okaat to meet our adventurers. So, Okaat, you find yourself in the town of Bartle, and you are actually in the bar of the Red Splendor. Do you drink?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I would be old enough to drink, I imagine. Yeah.
Defo.
Probably the drinking age is, way lower in these times.
Like you go from your mother's teat to a beer bottle, is what you do.
You start drinking at 12 and you just never stop.
Yeah, defo.
Yeah.
That's, that's how you get strong livers, is you just keep on pushing it. Pushing it to its limits.
Yeah, what doesn't kill you will eventually kill your
you.
liver.
So, you are in the town of the Red Splendor. No, you are in the town of Bartle.
In the bar of Red Splendor.
In the Red Splendor bar and tavern. And what was interesting is when you ordered your drink, you knew that there was a $1 gold piece tax on all drinks because it would go to the Temple of the Sun King. However, this was waived for you by the bartender named Palant. And as do you sit so you can see out the window, or do you stay inside, or do you keep your back to the window?
I would sit so I can see the door.
Okay, so by the door is a large window, so you can kind of see the general goings-on of the town.
Yeah, okay.
And as you're there drinking coolly, your hair's up, I take it?
Always.
As you're looking out, you see a Bartolian mother and child. And the child, even though this is a rough time, the mayor hasn't been seen for the past 13 months. They're just living the life of a family. Just a mother and a daughter. And you can see that this girl is about the same age that you were when you were bought. So tell me, how did that happen?
I don't remember much. I was pretty young at the time. But, all I really have are impressions. A tall, blonde, beautiful elven woman who, led me away from where I was staying and brought me into her household and, told me that this was my home now.
Yeah, I imagine that it kind of threw you for a loop because as you've gotten older and developed into a young woman, you two look roughly the same age now.
Yeah.
She maybe looks like she's 26 or 27 as opposed to you're 22.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like she's changed at all since she purchased you. That elven woman's name, of course, is Evangeline. And the reason that she purchased you was, she needed to teach somebody her art, which is blade singing. And if I'm not mistaken, you were great at it. You took naturally to the training, yeah?
Yeah. I was naturally very gifted at blade singing. It just made sense to me, always.
Yeah, I think as you're watching the mother and daughter just holding hands and the child feeling secure in that love that extends between mother and child. I imagine Evangeline didn't give you a lot of that.
Not without a price. There was always a trade-off, And when I was much younger, I think she was much warmer towards me and sort of. My earliest memories of her are very motherly. Reading me to sleep at night. Blade singer stories and.
Tales of great elves.
Yeah, exactly. She always, when I was young, she always treated me less like a slave and more like family.
Yeah, I think there was a really great moment that kind of didn't mark a turning point, but I think I imagine there was a time when maybe for the first time as your horns started to grow in and grow larger, they pushed past your scalp and they were past your natural hairline. There were a bunch of kids, just human kids that you were around. Mm-hmm. And boy, they did not take to you at all, did they?
No, not at all. I remember coming home crying about being teased. And, Evangeline took me up to my room and asked me to show her my horns, and I did. And I remember she said to me, "You'll always be beautiful to me, but let's show you how to hide those." And from then on, I've always worn my hair that way. Always worn it up in 2 buns atop my head, and now that I'm older and the horns have grown more, I have to trim them from time to time to keep them small enough to be hidden under my hair.
So you're in Bartle for a very important reason. Actually, this is the first official mission that Evangeline's given you. Mm-hmm. And you were tasked with stealing the Shroud of the Sun King, which is guarded by Castille, the cleric of Paylor, in the town of Bartle. Mm-hmm. It's reputed to give whoever believes in it enormous luck. And you know that she suspects that when the Blade Singers lost the war 50 years ago, she thinks it was in large part due to Castille and his believing that the Shroud of the Sun King would aid them. And so, what do? You know that the Temple of the Sun King is just out the door and to the left, and it is the centerpiece. It is not the centerpiece, but all roads lead to the Temple of the Sun King.
Mm-hmm. So this is just a scouting mission, right? I'm here to get the lay of the land, pretty much,
and then tell her about it.
Right. Okay. So I'd probably want to go into the temple and just see, get an idea for the layout and where things are. Have I met Castille at this point?
Not yet.
Okay.
So as you get up to leave, as you walk by Pilant, he says, I hope you're going to see the Shroud. It's a really important thing here in this town.
That's what I've heard.
Well, you've heard right. Also, I would caution you to be careful around the good cleric Castille. Seems friendly, but a lot of hate in his heart, if you know what I mean. Especially for what you are.
Naturally.
I mean, of course, right?
Of course. Yeah. It's nothing I haven't heard before.
Yeah, but, just don't forget, you're only beautiful to one person, as the way that you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, trust me, I never forget.
That's good to know. And you go out and you see, surprisingly, the Red Nation overall to be a pretty lush land. It's just that the town of Bartle is a little bit drier. It's a little bit more arid because of its proximity to the Withered Lands, which is where the great red dragon, Grimson, was slaughtered. But, so you go to the temple?
Yeah, I think, I would imagine that people come and go throughout the day in the temple, so I'm just kind of going to go as if I'm, kind of like taking a tour.
Right.
Just checking it out, just seeing the sights while I'm here in Bartle for the day.
That's awesome. As you approach the steps, you can see a couple of what you would imagine are homeless people lounging on the steps. They look surprisingly well fed. They look taken care of.
Well, that's nice.
And as you enter the great double doors, you see a man in white and yellow on his knees in front of a what appears to be a homeless person. And he has a pumice stone in his hand, and he is in a basin of water, and it looks like he is trying to saw down the calluses of the old woman. And you hear him just say, "Boy, you just have to buy a better pair of shoes. That's all there is to it. Do you have enough money to buy shoes?" And she goes, "No." And he goes, "You know what? You go to the cobbler. You tell him that Castille is asking for a pair of shoes in your size. He's probably going to make some dumb joke about how I'm into women's shoes. I'm not, although I could be, and that's fine. But you tell him to make those, and I will pay for it, because I am tired of your calluses." And she goes, "Oh, thank you, Castille." He's like, no thanks are needed. Just do that for me. It's a favor to me." And as you enter, you see to the right of you is an enormous room that looks like it has captured the gold of the sun in it. And what do you do?
I would head towards that room.
Okay, and as you head towards that room, you see in the center a picture of the sun, obviously.
Natch.
And Natch. And there's like 4 fires around it. Natch. And you hear from behind.
All right, guys, we get it. Sun God, all over it, 100%. Right there with you.
And as you go, as you go towards it, you hear the voice of Castille go, "Oh, excuse me, miss. Can I help you?"
I whirl around a bit startled, and I just say, I'm so sorry. Am I not supposed to be here?"
"Oh, no. Everyone's welcome here. Believe you me. It's okay. I just wanted to know if I could help you. I mean, I've thankfully just finished, I've just finished her calluses. So I'm actually available if you need me."
"Oh, well, that's very kind. I'm just looking around."
"Do you mind if I join you for a little bit?"
"Yeah, if you'd like."
And so he gets up and he kind of brushes his pant legs off, and he joins beside you, and he's like a fairly slight but athletic-looking man. You notice that he has an extremely good smell, as you imagine someone named Castille would. And he is just beside you, and he goes, "So, I've never seen you in Bartle, and forgive me, I don't often see people like you." And he looks at your buns.
A little glance upward.
Yeah. He makes a little,
You cannot say he looks at my buns. That's just not going to be...
"Hun."
We're going to have to say hairstyle.
He looks at your hairstyle. He looks at the top of your head. And he goes, "I don't see many people with your hairstyle here all that often." "It's no problem."
So I've been told before.
"Well, you may have been told it before, but I mean it sincerely." Sorry, excuse me. So you're going towards the sunroom?
Is that what that is?
Yep, it holds our pride and joy, the shroud. And it also holds my pride and joy, the library.
Ooh.
Yeah, you forgive me for being presumptuous, but you seem fairly clever. Am I right?
Well, I'm flattered that you would think so.
I usually have a good sense of people. And if you're clever, I always want to foster that. So if you see a book that you'd like, please feel free to take it.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's very generous of you. Thank you.
It's not generosity. It's just giving something that I think people would appreciate. So as you come here, and he leads you to the room right before the sunroom, and you see just an enormous library. And you see a couple of books. You see one about Phoenix Crypt. You see a very intricate book that matches his outfit. It has like a white binding, and it has and it has like blue trim around it, and it looks like the pages are lined with gold. And he goes, the only thing that I ask you is you don't take that one, because that one's actually very, very important to me. Like, it's kind of a life or death sort of thing. I should not lead with that. Things aren't grim. It's just that that's a book that I would prefer to keep with me. You understand?
Yeah, well, it matches your outfit.
You know, I really appreciate that. I try to match it. Do the curtains match the carpet? You bet it does. and he gives you a wink. He's like, sorry, I live for dumb jokes.
Well, there are worse things a person could live for.
And he gets a little bit, you see he kind of thinks of something. He goes, yeah, you're absolutely right. So yeah, anything in the library that you like. You see there's a history of blade singers there. Mm-hmm. And you see another book about the prismatic queen and her color knights.
Cool.
And he walks you to the sunroom, and in the sunroom, it is just, every tile is painted gold, or is a gold. Mm-hmm. And it seems like the shroud at the center of it gives off a light glow, which kind of causes the rest of the gold tile to illuminate, which gives it its brilliant coloring. And he goes, so what brings a woman such as yourself to the town of Bartle? I'm going to tell you the truth, it's probably a good thing that you hide it a little bit, because
yeah.
you would know much better than I would. I'm sorry for being presumptuous.
No, it's okay. It's yeah, I've learned the hard way.
And he looks like genuinely sad, and he goes, I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, I kind of live here. That's kind of my whole thing. And besides the dinner that I give to, the people of the downtrodden here in Bartle, if you'd ever like to join me for dinner, I would love to have a clever conversationalist.
I would really like that.
I'm really glad to hear that. And you look at the sunshine, he's like, do you have any questions?
No, it's just beautiful.
I think it's really important to hold on to beauty. You know what I mean? Mm. It gives a lot of people a lot of hope, and that's the most important thing. And you see that night is starting to fall. He's like, gotta start preparing for the food preparations. So if you'll excuse me, once again, any book that you'd like, feel free to borrow it, except for the one that matches me. Please.
Fair enough.
And he gives you a nod, and he leaves your company.
All right. Well, I'm here to do a job, so I'm going to spend a little more time looking around the sunroom and looking around the library and the rooms outside, and just casually strolling as if I'm, perusing the books and just sort of being a tourist. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to get a sense of, are there hidden traps and security mechanisms? Is this... I'm sure I haven't noticed any guards.
Nope, it is just him.
Yeah. So,
he couldn't have made it this easy, could he?
Right? How does he keep this shit on lock?
Right.
It's gotta be incredibly clever, because it's not obvious at all.
Right. And so you look around trying to find traps. And here's the fun thing. You don't find any secret traps. It just looks like it is completely unguarded. And the weird thing is, there were 4 large windows in the sunroom that if someone were to come in, take it, they could just jump out the window.
Well, that's handy to know.
Yeah, that would be handy to know.
If, say, someone was tasked with taking the shroud, that would be a handy thing to know.
Yeah, it would be. It would be, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be, just super handy, though?
Super handy is the thing, though. Is what it would be, though.
Okay. So, yeah, once I'm fairly certain that I have done as thorough a search as I can without being obvious about it, mm-hmm. I guess I'll head back to the Red Splendor.
Okay. Do you take a book with you?
No.
Okay. As you get back to the Red Splendor, you see Palant still behind the bar. And he goes, "So, how'd you like the temple?"
It's a hell of a thing.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Be a real shame if that shroud was to go missing, huh?
It really would.
And it'd be so easy, though, right?
Seems like. I have to imagine that he is very, very good at keeping things guarded in subtle ways.
Oh, he's a very dull man, Palant says.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's one of those people that trusts everybody. He's never had to live a life like you have.
Fair enough.
So, your room 113, yeah?
Yep.
You have a visitor.
Oh.
She is waiting for you.
Ah. Pretty sure I know who that is. Yeah. All right. Head up to the room.
Okay, and as you head up to the room, you know that the town of Bartle is kind of famous for being a last refuge, or the last stop before people journey into the Withered Lands to find whatever they're looking for there.
Adventure,
treasure, absolutely.
Fabled treasure, I'm sure.
And as you reach the top of the steps, you see a little gnome man, and he goes, "Oh, well, hello.
Hello.
You do a very good job of covering that up, you know. I think you have a lot that you're covering up for. In fact, I think there's someone here that people think are dead. But that's none of my business. My name's Farstand. By the way, I want to give you a little secret."
I raise my eyebrows expectantly.
And he leans in, and he's so small that he can't reach your ear, but he still whispers nonetheless, like he's whispering into your ear, but it's like more like your hip. And he says, "Gnomes are the greatest adventurers in the world." And he just kind of sachets his way down the steps.
What a strange, rude little man.
And he goes, "Oh, you know it, honey." From down the steps.
And sassy.
And as you approach your door, room 113, you hear just a soft tone, a soft singing that you would be familiar with as the song that she would sing you when you were a little girl. And do you open the door, or do you just listen for a little while?
I listen for a moment, and then as I'm opening the door, I say, "Hello, miss."
And she goes, "Oh, it's so good to see you, Okaat. How long have you been gone? You've only been gone for 2 weeks, but it's felt like a lifetime. I so miss you around the house. Also, don't call me miss. Call me Mom for this one, huh?"
Okay.
"I don't know if I've ever told you, but I am so proud of you." And she starts to hum that song that she's sung before. And she goes, "Did you have a chance to meet old Castille and see the sun shroud?"
I did.
She goes, "Oh, marvelous. What'd you think?"
It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
"And it's so dangerous."
Sure.
"Oh, if you were me and you've seen the things that I've seen, you would know that they were very dangerous." And she goes, "So, do you think it's an easy job?"
Sure looks like it.
"Excellent. How easy does it look?" "Very?"
I could probably walk right in and walk right out with it.
Well, let's see if the old man has any other tricks up his sleeve. Shall we?
Okay.
So, he usually has dinner around this time, I think. How about you have dinner with him? See if you can... I think he likes to hit the sauce a little hard. He loved dwarves so very much. So... And she kind of kicks something underneath the bed, and you see a very like fairly large size of what is it called when you have a flask? It's a very large flask, and she goes, "Do you know what this is, darling?"
A very large flask?
That's very true. It also has lunar ale, which I think he has a taste for.
Oh.
So I want you to offer it to him, and I want you to take. Well, don't keep your head. And let us see if any loose lips sink his ship. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And she goes, and if you don't find anything, well then, we'll just proceed to the next step.
All right.
And she stands up, and do you think you're about the same height as her, or do you think you're a little bit smaller, or do you think you're taller than her?
I'm a little bit shorter than she is. Just a couple of inches. Just enough to be noticeable.
Yeah, and it feels like it's so much more when she stands at her full height.
Right.
And as she comes over to you, she puts her hand on top of your head, and she goes, I am so glad that I've gotten to see you grow up. And she goes, well, head on out, kiddo.
Oh, she called me kiddo. All right. So, I do.
Okay, you head down, and you see that little dwarf, or that little gnome. He's on the bar where Palant is, and he is just singing just a crazy song about riding wervens and being called the Wings of the West. And he goes, I knew the Prismatic Queen when she was at Knight Delavar. Isn't that bananas? Oh, well.
Ah, that guy.
And he goes, back at you. And you go through, and you see that there's a great warm light in the temple of the Sun King. And it looks like people are leaving, like, people who are of a lower socioeconomic class. So, do you approach?
Yeah, I think I'll just head up there and basically see if I can find Castille and ask him if that offer of dinner is still good.
Okay. As you enter, you still see it's like exactly like it was, even with the night now fully on. It is still that room, that sunroom, is still so beautiful. It, like, instead of being like the noonday sun, it looks like the sun during sunset. And you look around, and there's about like 7 different people, and that old woman that you saw earlier is there, and she is just like curling up in the corner in a small cot that you can tell that she's used many, many times before.
Did she get her shoes?
It looks like she has an order for the shoes.
Oh.
And you do not see Castille here, though.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll head back out into the temple proper.
Okay, you go to the temple proper, and it looks like there's nobody there, but you do see a small light through a small hallway to the left.
Okay, I'll head over there.
Okay, and when you get there, you see Castille, and he is just singing to himself as he is like washing dishes.
I'm gonna knock on the side of the door, just like.
And he goes, whoa, oh no, did you hear my singing?
No.
Oh, no, you're a terrible liar, but I appreciate you trying to save my face.
You want some help?
Oh, no, you don't need to help me, but I'm hoping that you came for some dinner.
Well, that was the eventual plan, but I figured if I help you do the dishes, then dinner comes sooner.
See, I knew you were clever. And he goes, would you mind drying as I wash?
Gladly.
And he's washing, and you guys are actually working like a pretty good team, And he goes, this is much easier with 4 hands instead of 2.
I thought that might be the case.
And he goes, I really hope... Are you vegetarian?
I could be.
Because I have mutton.
Oh, I could also not be vegetarian. I'm usually not.
Okay, good, because I saved you a plate.
Oh.
Because I hoped that you'd show up. And so you guys finished actually much sooner. It was a huge pile of dishes. But like with your combined efforts, it only took like maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Nice.
And he goes, well, yeah, get some food and, yeah, would you want to join me on the outside? It's kind of a beautiful night.
Yeah, sure.
And so you guys do, and you're eating by the moonlight. And you see that he isn't eating.
Aren't you hungry?
He goes, see, there's something that happened to me a long time ago that actually doesn't make me hungry. And I don't need to really eat. That's how I keep my girlish figure, he says.
Well, I suppose that must be convenient in some ways.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I love food, and I used to love eating, but, you know, I can still make it, and I can see other people enjoy it. And what you notice is, like, his food's kind of bland.
The food that he's not eating? Oh, no, the food that I'm eating.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's kind of bland.
I say, well, this is absolutely delicious.
Well, thank you so much. And he stretches out. He's like, you know what I do, though? I do drink if I have the opportunity to.
Oh, funny you should mention that. I have a little bit of something that I was hoping you might share with me. And I pull out the flask.
And he goes, oh, yes. What's on the menu, sommelier?
You ever heard of lunar ale?
Only went during the war and it was the best thing to drink?
Yeah, that's what's on the menu.
How'd you get it? That's from the town of Sparrow.
I have my ways.
Wow. How mysterious. And he goes, absolutely, I would love some. Would you like a glass?
Sure.
And he just magically produces 2 glasses. You know?
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about magic. You can use it for the most mundane things.
Man, I really should pick up some of that.
You don't? You don't have any?
Not any useful magics.
Well, that's interesting. I usually kind of know a couple of wizards who are like you, and they're pretty powerful, but it's not, one size doesn't fit all.
Yeah, guess it just didn't take.
Yeah. Would you like some ice?
Sure.
And he puts the ice, and he goes, well, if you wouldn't mind. And he offers you his glass.
And I fill them both up.
Nice. And you see he just takes to it like a fish to water.
And I'd say, I propose a toast.
And he goes, could you pour me another one so that I can toast properly?
I top him off.
Thanks.
All right, now I propose a toast.
Please lead the way.
To new friends.
Always. And
Clink.
You guys clink. And he goes, I should really start pacing myself. And as he says, I should pace myself, he drinks that one quickly.
The night's still young.
This is very true, he says.
So, what's your favorite thing about living here in the temple?
That people know where to find me if they need me.
That's nice.
What good are you if you're not of use to somebody else?
It's very true.
And you can tell that he's starting to blush a little bit because he may love drinking, but he's not very good at it.
All right. So yeah, just gonna make chit chat, small talk for a while, and then I ask him do you live here all on your own?
I used to have a woman who lived here with me, but she died during the war, so just me by myself.
Oh, so sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's just life. Life ends eventually.
True.
True. Yeah.
That library and the shroud and everything. You don't have any guards or anyone to watch over you while you sleep?
And he stops and he goes, I feel like if I show distrust to people, that'll make people distrust me. And I want people to trust me.
That's a very, very good philosophy.
Hasn't led me wrong yet.
I hope it never does.
Hey, thanks. By the way, did you get a book?
Not yet. I'm having a hard time deciding.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Sure.
Phoenix Crypt. That stuff is amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, and like, if I'm reading the stars right, which I never do, we had a moonless night about 24 years ago, and that usually pretends to something pretty big.
Huh.
And they say that it comes to fruition 25 years after the moonless night. So, that was before you were, forgive me, you're under 25?
I'm 23.
You're just under. You never saw the moonless night. It was terrifying. But
Oh my.
usually it's a good sign. If things play out the way that they need to play out. You know. But I think that would be a really good book to read up on because we're supposed to hit the anniversary next year.
Wow.
You're 24. And I am much older than that.
Yeah, well. With age comes wisdom, right?
Hopefully I'll live to see it. You know? He looks at the night and he goes, And he looks at you and he goes, I'm glad you're here. I don't know where you're going to go to next, but if you stay here, I'd love to have you around more often. If you have to go, I'm really glad you stopped and stayed for as long as you did.
Me too. I don't think I'll be in town for much longer, but I would love to come back and see you again.
I would like that very much. And you can see that he is starting to like lay down on the steps outside because he is just very drunk.
I stand up and I say, "Tell you what, buddy, why don't we get you to bed?"
And he's like, I think that would probably be a great idea. And he stands and he like kind of wobbles to his feet.
Oops, a doodle, right this way.
And he actually puts his arm over your shoulder. And you lead him back to his bed. And you see it's a very humble looking room. There doesn't appear to be there's no extravagancies. There's just a small cot, one pillow, and a blanket. And he lays down and he goes, don't forget to take a book on the way out.
All right, I got you.
All right. Say hi before you leave tomorrow or tonight or whenever you leave.
Okay.
And as you say, okay, he's already fallen asleep.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Is there any ale left in the flask?
Yeah.
I leave it with him.
Oh, you leave the flask with him?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll
buy her a new one. She won't even know it's gone.
Absolutely. Well, she's well healed, right?
Yeah. She'll be fine.
Yeah. And so you are passing through you can see the sunroom still, and you see the library. Do you take a book?
Not yet.
Sounds good. And so you go out, and it is just night, and this small town is very quiet. And you go back to the Red Splendor, and Ballant's still there. It's weird. He doesn't seem like he has left at all.
Well, he's a bartender, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's been at work for like 18 hours.
Yeah, he probably lives here.
He probably does.
That's what I'm going to tell myself.
Yeah. Everybody lives where they work.
Yep. That's just how we do.
Back in the ye old days. And so he is there, and he goes, evening, miss.
Evening. Well, I'm going to bed. Good night.
And he's surprised like your abruptness. He goes, all right.
I just don't want to small talk with the guy. He's always like, ooh, I know so many things. I'm like, yeah, I know you know. I know that you know the things. I'm going to bed.
And he goes, I was going to tell her that I knew so many things. And you see Farstand as he watches you go, he turns back to the he turns his head, and like laying on the bar is that little gnome. He's like, oh, you can tell me things that you wish to tell her. And you go upstairs.
I'm just like, careful with that, gnome.
As you get up to the steps, like, do you just go in, or what do you do?
I'm probably in the habit of like listening at the door
Makes
when
sense.
going back to my room, especially in places that are not my own home.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So as you listen in, you don't really hear anything.
Okay, I'll crack open the door and just quietly step in.
Okay, as you step in, your room is completely empty.
Cool. I go to bed.
Nice. Okay, so you go to bed about 4 hours later. So you're just about to hit REM sleep or whatever. You feel a cool hand against your forehead.
I wake up with my dagger drawn.
And she goes, "Those reflexes are great. Just like I knew they would be."
Thanks, miss.
So, what'd you learn?
He is a very trusting old man.
Well, that makes it easier for us then, doesn't it?
Sure does.
So, how about we give you your first mission?
Okay.
Since it's going to be so easy to take the shroud, let's make it a little bit more difficult, huh? Because I've been dying to give you these items for such a long time, and I haven't found the right occasion. However, if you take this, if you do this mission like I know you're going to, then you'll have earned this gift that I'm about to give you. Are you ready?
Of course.
So I need you to take the sun shroud.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to kill that old man.
Okay.
And then, when you do both deeds, tonight, meet me at the Twisted Knot.
Okay.
And she takes out her blades, and she gives you them. She goes, "Now these, before I upgraded, I wielded these a lot, and they actually missed him the first time. So it would be good to close the circle on that. You know what I mean?"
How poetic.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're elves. We're refined. Well, I've always thought of you as like an honorary elf. You know, not that... I mean, you're just that beautiful to me. I see you as like one of my own.
I'm flattered.
Oh, absolutely. You should be.
Okay, so I take the blades. What do they look like?
They are actually like beautiful elven craftsmanship. They are lined with gold in the center part of the blade.
Ooh.
And they are unusually sharp. Like, it looks like they are as sharp as the first day that they were made. And that might be due to their magic, or that just might be because she takes care of her fucking blades.
Yeah.
You know? And,
all right.
And she goes, "Now, I know you're not going to, but just so that we're both square, don't disappoint me, huh?"
Never.
That's what I like to hear. And she hugs you.
Oh. That's unusual.
And she goes, "I'll be waiting for you, and I will be so pleased."
I'll see you soon.
And as you say that, she turns into a yellow mist, and she leaves quickly.
All right. What do I have with me, and how quickly can I pack it?
I mean, you just have your basic essentials, right?
Probably so. If I'm staying in the inn, I'm not going to have a lot of, like, food and water to pack up.
Right, yeah. It is just... You had enough to get there, and then you have enough to complete your mission and head out.
Okay.
And rendezvous with Evangeline.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to pack up everything that I have. I'm not coming back here after I'm done. Take it all with me, and so it's the middle of the night now, right? It's dark out. So I'll make my way over to the temple, being extremely careful not to be seen.
Okay, and as you go to the temple, you hear a little voice. And
the fucking gnome.
And he says, "Now, if you're about to do what I think you're going to do, I would suggest that you go to the town of Wander in the Purple Nation."
I would suggest that you mind your own fucking business.
Ah, I think you don't know the purview of my distance, because as you do know, gnomes are the greatest adventurers in the world.
Well, go adventure somewhere else.
Fair point. And he just skedaddles out.
Little prick. Fucking tell me what to goddamn do.
And you're mumbling that as you enter the...
This just looks so pissed.
as you enter the temple of the Sun King.
Excellent. So the kitchen where we were washing dishes earlier, did I get the sense that there was like a pantry?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to go to the pantry and take a little bit of, like, maybe a day's worth of...
Makes total sense.
Rations.
Yeah.
Put those into my pack. And then make my way to the room with the shroud.
Okay, and you were there, and the shroud is, like... It seems like it mimics how much sun there is, because now the sun shroud almost has like a moon glow to it.
Oh, wow. And the books are in that room with it, or they're just outside? Okay. I take a moment to look through the books, and I pick up the Phoenix script.
Okay.
Put that in my bag.
Sounds good.
And then I take a moment to write a note. Mm-hmm. It says, "Beauty cannot always be trusted. You are in danger." And I pin that to the shroud.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. You pin it to the shroud. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, after that, what do you do?
Get the fuck out of Dodge.
Okay, where are you going? So, as you know, the Twisted Knot is directly east of Bartle. It gets really close to the Withered Lands.
Right.
You know that the home base of where Evangeline has been over the last couple of months, she's been looking for a woman named Gaia. Okay. And you know that she has been to almost the very south of the Red Nation, in the Broken Rock Mountains.
Okay.
And that's where I imagine you were before. Mm-hmm. You know that your home originally, as a tiefling, was in Maladra, or Helltown, as it's colloquially known. I can never say that word.
As it's called by the locals.
And there's this little weird town called Wander that this little annoying gnome told you about.
Like, if he's gonna follow me there, I'm going to have to kill him. That's my main concern right now. I don't want to, but fuck, I can't have anyone around that knows where I went.
Absolutely. Makes total sense.
I'm gonna go find that fucking gnome.
Okay, you saw him actually heading north, which it's a really roundabout way to go to the nation of Zaun, which is the capital nation. That's where the Prismatic Queen lives.
Okay, well, hang on.
But he only has maybe a 30-minute head start on you, and he is much slower than you because he's so small.
True. My thinking is I know I have a little bit of lead time before Evangeline starts to wonder where I am. Right. And comes looking for me. Right. Do I want to spend that time chasing down a gnome?
This is true.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to hope that he took my advice to heart and fucked right off. And I'm going to go, just basically flee as far as I can in whatever direction will get me the furthest from her before she starts to come looking for me.
So that would be south.
Okay.
So you're going to travel south, and then where are you trying to? What's your destination?
I'm not really sure I have one.
Okay.
So just trying to.
Do you want to stay in red, cross to blue, go to purple, go cross through blue to get to green?
I definitely don't want to stay in red.
Obs.
Blue is not friendly to my people.
True.
Yeah. So purple.
Okay. So as you head south, day turns to night, night turns to day, days turn to weeks. And you are a good survivalist. You have a lot of training, and you're great at it, actually. Like, most people would look pretty ragged if they were on the road as much as you have been. But besides some, like, cosmetic changes, like, you actually look pretty well kept together.
I haven't had a chance to put on my face, but...
And so you go all the way south, and you cut over before you reach the Broken Rock Mountains, and as you cut southeast, you get to that point where, like, the blue, the red, and the purple all meet. And you cross over into purple.
Okay.
And as you're going, like, it's such a weird difference between, like, the Purple Nation and the Blue Nation that you called home for the first couple of years, and the Red Nation. Like, those are standard fantasy areas, like, yeah, sword and board, but the Purple Nation, like, the buildings look like blades, and they are so advanced. Like, these buildings are taller than anything you've seen. Like, these truly reach to the sky.
Wow.
And there is just...
Do they scrape the sky?
So close to, just under, though, is the thing, though. And, and you just see, like, all manner of technology that you haven't seen before, you know? Like, the things that, like, Evangeline showed you was, like, you know, cool, like, that she made or that Raz made. You can guess that she probably got it here and just pass it off.
You sly old woman, you. Have I seen any sign that she's been hunting me thus far?
Have you gotten any sign? Not quite, but there have been people that have made very cryptic comments to you.
What else is new?
Okaat, the hard-bitten cynic. The well-traveled woman.
Like, everyone in this world speaks in fucking riddles. God.
And as you say that...
No!
You see a little gnome.
No! No!
And he goes, you took my advice, huh?
By the time he gets to you, I have my sword at his throat.
He's like, whoops-a-doodle.
Yeah.
Boy, you are a lot less friendly than Castille said you were.
Oh, you're friends with Castille?
Absolutely.
Oh, I put my sword away.
There it is. He's like,
why are you following me?
Because somebody wants to meet you, and it's not the woman you think it is who has blades.
It's not the woman I'm running from?
Nope.
That's good.
This is also a powerful woman, though. And she definitely wants to meet you. And she's a friend of Castille.
Okay.
So, also, if you could, just remember something for me.
What's that?
Gnomes are the greatest adventurers in the world. And he just, you should also go to the to the Violet Sky line bar. That's how they say it. That's all they say it. He says.
The Violet Skyline bar?
Yep.
Okay.
She'll be waiting. Not the one that you're afraid of.
Okay.
The one that she's afraid of is.
Cool.
And as you say cool, he's already gone.
Damn it.
As you see signs for the town of Wander.
Okay. Right, that's where he said I should go. Well, okay. Didn't trust him at the time, but if he's a friend of Castille's, then I'll hope he's not leading me astray.
Okay. As you enter the town of Wander, like, this is actually a town that looks very rich. very, very rich. Like, cloyingly rich.
I take a moment to sort of like glance in a nearby window or something and just, fix up my hair a little.
Okay, makes total sense.
Yeah, make sure I'm not, embarrassingly smudged. Sort of dust off my clothes and straighten up a little.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool.
It's like, I belong here. I've been here before.
So you've been hunting for your food or have you been stealing for your food?
A little of both.
Makes total sense. So, you see the the purple skyline bar. Is that the name of it?
Violet.
Violet, thank you.
God. Like, shit, the purple skyline. Where's it?
Oh, damn it. That's in the town of Blonder. So you see the Violet Skyline bar. Mm-hmm. And as you can imagine, it is there looks to be a cliff, and it is right on that cliff face. Ooh. So as the sun goes down, you see a violet skyline over it.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you enter, I imagine, or do you?
Yup.
You enter, and oh my god, the smell of money is just ridiculous. And it sucks. And you see just all these people making all this lame, bullshitty, my investments. Exactly. Like, you can tell this is where socialites go when they want to put on their A game, or when they want to network.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
And as you survey this, there is a glass, the bar that the barkeep is behind is all pure glass. And the weird thing is there are images broadcast on that glass, which
what?
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is.
Damn.
And
so I'll probably just sort of stand in the doorway during the headlights for a second, taking it all in. Just holy shit, I do not belong here.
And as you're saying that, you see to your left, a woman who's dressed a little bit nicer than you, but much less nice than the rest of them.
My people.
Yeah, and she's just kind of looking at you patiently. And she just kind of looks at the bar, and that's all she does.
I make eye contact and just kind of eh?
You hear in your ear, or actually in your head, why don't you get some food? You look a little bit hungry.
I give her the old finger guns.
And she says, it's on me.
I cannot communicate back to her, so I will just nod my thanks and head to the bar.
Okay, and what do you order? What's Okaat's favorite food?
I don't know that she has one. She's probably just eaten whatever's been put in front of her. And I would imagine that the quality of the meal would depend on how pleased Evangeline is with her that day.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. And there probably have been some meals that were too rich for her blood. She's just she must be really happy with me, but damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Does she eat that all the time?
Yeah, is this what rich people eat? Oh my god. It's just raw beef.
With a yolk broken on top of it. It's so gross.
God. They forgot to cook it. Why did they forget to cook it? Wow, what now? Okay. I'll have the foie gras.
It's actually on the menu as foie what now? Or foie what now?
No, I'll just order a bowl of hearty stew.
Okay. And after you order it, do you go back to the woman?
Yeah.
Okay, as you approach, all of a sudden, the chair across from her just gets pushed away from the table. And she actually says, have a seat, huh?
Sure. She probably pushed her with her foot, right? Probably.
Maybe she did. Well, maybe it was magic. Who can tell anymore? Actually, you know what it was? Farstand was under the table. Ah.
God damn it, that fucking gnome.
Yeah. No, she, it's pushed across from her. And she goes, so I'm glad you made it.
Me too. Yeah.
And, like, you can tell that she is, like, a little bit older. Like, she is, like, maybe in her... She looks like she's in her 50s.
Okay. Human woman? Elf?
She looks like she's maybe a cross between the two.
Oh. I believe they call that a half-elf.
I believe you're right. But you can't tell because she has something covering her ears.
Ah.
And she is dressed resplendent. She's dressed fairly nicely in, like, purple garb.
Oh, okay.
As you know, that most people in their nations tend to have at least one bit of color that represents their nation.
Right.
She looks pretty... She has a lot of brown and, like, some deep flashes of purple.
Okay.
So she goes, I believe you and I both know somebody.
So I've been told.
Oh, by somebody else that you wish you didn't know?
Yeah, that guy.
He's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, but, like, man.
He's pretty. He's, like, on a personality scale, he's like a 13.
Yeah, he's got it cranked all the way up.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Boy, he does not know how to tone it down, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
So, you didn't do the thing that you were supposed to do.
Nope, couldn't do it.
And now you're on the lam, huh?
As they say.
And I don't know whether to tell you this or not.
Well, you've already brought it up, so it'd be kind of rude not to at this point.
That's an excellent point. And she goes, you like Castille? Who doesn't, right?
How could you not?
Well, he's dying. Or, he should have been dead a long time ago. But, you know did he tell you about the book?
Yeah.
He tells everybody about that book.
Yeah.
Because he thinks
the one that matches him?
Yep,
yeah.
That one. Somebody stole that book.
Oh, no.
And it got into bad hands. So, we're trying to find it. But in case not, I'm glad that you got to meet him. And she looks a little bit sad. She goes, but that's beside the point. You didn't cause that, so I'm not going to bring you down with it, even though I just did. Now, forgive me, and you do a very good job of hiding this, but you have a couple of blades on you, yes? Oh, wait. And she goes, you have about 5 blades? 2 swords. Yes, those are new.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just carry 3 blades.
Yeah, rogue.
Fair. Are those middle fingers? Are they shaped like middle fingers? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I had them custom made.
And she looks impressed. That was nice.
Thanks. I thought it was pretty funny at the time.
So you
still do, actually.
Oh, so those 2 blades on your back, the big ones?
Yeah. Gift. Couldn't not take them.
Well, we're going to need to get those off of you and get the magic off of them. Because right now, the person who gave you those blades knows you're in this bar.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So,
that's real bad.
Would you like my help?
Yeah, sure would.
Okay. And she gets up and she goes, follow me.
Okay.
Oh, and she goes, did you finish your food, by the way?
We'll say I have, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she goes...
Okay, it hasn't even shown up yet.
Yeah.
Bye. Still hungry, but bye.
And she goes... I like the idea of, like, you're just, like, so, like, freaked. You're like, we gotta go now.
Gotta go now.
Goes,
fuck the stew.
And she goes, I'll have some made for you when we get to where we're going.
Okay.
And she goes, and you can see, like, all these people, like, these upper crusties. And she just kind of rolls her eyes as she gets to the back corner of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, and she motions you to be stealthy. And you're so good at the stealth thing, though.
You're super good at it.
And you see her take out this little black ball, and she goes, lavender room. And she just throws it against the wall, and suddenly you see, like, this resplendent door right behind her. And she goes, come on.
Holy shit.
And she goes, go first. Go first so that I can just make sure.
Holy shit. I mean, okay, I'm going, but, like, holy shit.
I know, right? It's the thing, though.
Fuck, that's so cool.
Purple's best.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Don't forget the purple's best.
Okay.
And
no, I believe it.
You go through the door?
Yup.
Okay, and you are in what looks like a palatial room. And as you can probably guess, everything here is lavender.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, and you see a picture on the wall of two women who are the same height, look to be the same age, and this is like when they're younger, like maybe like your age. And one is dark-haired. As you can tell, the woman who ushered you in here had dark hair before it started to salt and pepper, and a red-haired woman beside her.
Okay.
And so she follows you in, and then she collapses the door, and it's in her hand again. It's a small little black ball, and she puts that in her, she tucks it away. She goes, well, welcome. As you can probably guess, I'm kind of important.
Yup. Yeah.
Is this your first time in purple?
Yup.
Well, I'll have you know. Can you guess who I am?
Yes. The Purple Knight.
There you go. And she goes,
Sorry, I'm blanking on your name at the moment.
don't worry, my name isn't important. All that's important is my station. Okay, so let's get those blades off you, huh?
Yeah, okay.
And so you hand her the blades, and she...
Might be a real bitch if she just destroys them right now. It's like, haha, you're my captive. You're so fucked.
Oh, guess what, idiot?
That's what you get for trusting me.
Just randomly trusting me? Boo!
Yeah.
And she whistles, and you see a stout man with a limp go in, and she just says, "Moore, I need you to decurse these for me." And he goes, "Ugh, so many curses all the time." And she goes, I know. And he looks at the blades. He goes like, "Hers?" She goes, "Yeah." He goes, "She should be dead."
Me?
No. And he holds up the blades. The real owner of these.
Ah.
And that's when the Purple Knight goes, "Yeah, we thought we had killed her. And you can see why you're kind of a person of interest for me. Moore, leave this to me. Why don't you decurse those blades, huh?" And he goes, "Ugh." And he walks over to like a samovar in the center of the room, and he starts to pour it over the blades, and you see like a yellow mist start to come off of it. And she goes, "Ooh, that's a real piece of work."
Hey, that's tracking magic, right?
"It very much is," she says.
Is there any way to put that on something else?
And she goes, "Moore, can you hold that magic?" And he goes, "Moore, take off magic. Moore, hold the magic. Just give Moore something to do and let him do." And she's like, he's much more complex than his sentence structure indicates.
He seems about my speed.
Castille was right. You are funny. And Moore then takes like this little scarab beetle, this mechanical scarab beetle, and he puts the magic on it. And he goes, here's the tracking magic."
That's really fantastic. Thank you, Moore.
"No problem." And he just, "Am I done?" And she goes, "Yeah, you can go back." And he goes, "Great." And he just limps out of the room. And she goes, "So yeah, we thought she was dead."
Yeah, sorry. Nah, she's not.
She's super alive.
She's like super really alive.
And she's trying to get the sun shroud.
Yeah.
Anything else she's trying to do?
Well, she wanted me to kill Castille.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you?
He's so nice. He was so nice.
That is true. He's a very good man.
Yeah.
I hope we're able to find his book for him.
Yeah, me too.
So, you know more about them and their plans than we thought they were dead up until, well, we tracked you guys.
Until just about now? Yeah.
To just about now. So I kind of need you around, if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Just tell me, why'd you run?
Well, Evangeline and I have a very complicated relationship. Actually, no, this one's really simple. If I didn't kill him, she was probably going to kill me.
That makes it very simple indeed.
Yeah, like, that's probably the first direct order of hers I've ever completely disobeyed. Since I was, like, 5.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, I mean, you know, she raised me. I always say she raised me as one of her own, but she really didn't, you know? Like, I used to think that she thought of me as her daughter. And, you know, when I was a little girl, I used to fantasize that someday she would adopt me.
Yeah.
And that I would actually be family. But that never really happened.
Yeah.
And as I grew older, I think she started to treat me more as her property than her family. You know?
And the woman across from you looks genuinely heartfelt at that. And she goes, I'm really sorry. I just want you to know it took you a lot of courage to do what you did, and I'm very grateful that you did. I also think you have a lot of use, and I think you can be a thorn in their side. And I think we're going to need as many thorns as we can.
Fair enough.
So, I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. If you want to just wander, you are now free to move about freely. You are free to move about freely.
Am I free to move about the country?
You know, absolutely you are. And she goes, so I won't compel you to. All I would say is that you could do a lot of good, and we're short-handed. Because as you know, the Prismatic Queen is dying. And she has been a load-bearing woman for a number of years. And with things in flux with her death, or her stepping down, let's not think about her death. Well, Evangeline likes to create chaos, and there is no better time.
Yep. That she does.
So, if you so choose, there's something strange going on in the town of Sparrow, in the Blue Nation. Now, I know that isn't a hospitable place for people like you, but you hide it well, and you should have minimal trouble. There's something about a moonfire phoenix. And there was a moonless night about 24 years ago, I think.
So I've been told.
We think the moonfire phoenix portends a great calamity. It didn't even show up when we had the Blade Singers fight us the first time. And that was pretty dire.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
From their point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were the great heroes that were thwarted by us, the evil humans.
Yeah.
I mean, and we make compelling victims because look at how blue treats tieflings.
Yeah.
That makes me so angry sometimes, she says. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. But there is something happening in the town of Sparrow. And I need someone who is sharp-minded and have 5 blades on her person again. And so, if you do this, I will be very grateful to you. And I am a good person to have being grateful.
Yeah, I mean, the hell else am I going to do?
That is true. Well, and also, what does Castille like to say? If you're not being of use to someone. And she goes, but before we do that, we do have this little scarab beetle that can go anywhere you want it to. So you can misdirect her. Where would you like it to send it?
I'm going to send it straight back home.
And you see her you see her smile very broadly at this. And she goes, we can record a message if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay.
So, do I just, like...
Yeah, just speak into it.
Okay, so I pick it up and I whisper my message into it.
And now, just say home, and it will go there. And tell it how fast you want it to reach there.
Okay. So I tell it... I'm going to tell it to go home. But not... I'm going to tell it to wander a little, but in a straight line back to home.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So, stop at taverns, spend the night, but go home.
I just love the idea of this little scare of, like, going to a bar and, like, being on the top, like, ordering a beer, like, just drinking all of it.
It's like a tiny little stein.
Yeah. Passing out on the bar.
And not get too drunk to get home. That's all I ask.
With, like, little sad eyes.
Maybe once.
And like, you can see, like, if it could, it would say, hell yeah. And with that, it goes, and just takes off.
Excellent.
And she goes, so the town of Sparrow.
I'm on it.
Okay. Do you want to make things a lot easier for yourself?
Yeah.
Also, do you want to change the clothing? I think you and I generally wear the same size.
Oh, that would be great.
Sure. I have it, I don't know if you know this, but I wander a lot. Hence why this is the first town I named. Or, well, where we were. We are, oof.
Let's not think about it.
We are 300 miles away from that town right now.
Wow.
These doors are pretty great.
Yeah, like, you're gonna have to teach me how to do that.
Oh, I'll give
someday.
you
one. What?
Yeah. So what color would you like? Would you like blue, red, green, prismatic, or purple?
Blue. I should probably, if I'm headed to the blue nation, maybe blue.
Good choice.
Yeah.
And so she gives you a change of clothes, and, like, they're in your style. Like, it's surprising, like, how you both being rogues, how, like, your styles are kind of similar.
Nice.
And so she reaches in, she goes, okay, so here's the ball of travel. Okay? So, what you need to do, if you want to use it, is you say, where do you want to go? And you throw it against the wall. It can't be a magical wall or that interferes. So it just has to be a regular wall. Got it?
Got it.
So if I say, Castile's, and she throws it against the wall, and it goes against the wall, and she opens it, and you see the sunroom.
Oh, shit, that's so cool.
And she closes it, and she goes back, and it comes back into a ball. And she goes, so, after I throw this to the wall, to the town of Sparrow, what you do on the other side is say, back, and it will shrink back to a little ball. Okay? When you're done with whatever's going on in the town of Sparrow, throw it and say lavender, and it will get you back here.
Okay.
And when it does, it'll alert me that you're incoming. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Also, the town of Sparrow is very weird right now, so be on guard.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And don't drink this batch of lunar ale.
Damn. No, just lunar ale's real good.
No, it's so good though, is the thing though.
So good.
And so she goes, actually, would you like to throw it against the wall? You've never done it before. Might be good to get some practice.
Yeah.
And so she has it in her hand, and then all of a sudden, like, it just travels into your hand.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
Shit, that's cool.
And she goes, well, have at it.
All right. And take it, and I say, Sparrow, and I throw it against the wall.
And so it goes, poof, and all of a sudden...
But I throw it too high, and now I can't get through the door. Damn it.
And she goes, oh, for Kevin's sake, let me give you a lift.
I just, like, fall out of the ceiling.
And she goes, more. He's like, well, every time something goes wrong, ask for more. And she goes, can you be a human step stool? It's like, oh.
No, it's cool. I got it. I'll just try it. Back.
And then it shrinks back into a ball into your hand.
Cool. I'll try this again.
And Moore goes, come here, Moore. No, we don't need you, Moore. And he closes the door behind him.
I appreciate you more.
And he says, de nada. Okay. And she goes, try it again and throw it like so you can reach it, huh?
Yeah.
I know, it's kind of exciting.
It's really exciting.
And so you do it again?
Yep, I aim a little more carefully this time.
Okay. And she goes, well, let's see what's going on. And as she opens the door for you, you see the lunar forest.
Ooh.
And she goes, it's beautiful and eerie. So you're in the lunar forest. You're going to want to go, you're going to want to go straight down the path until you get to the town of Sparrow. Hide your ears. Hide your...
Yeah.
And why am I lecturing you on this? You know this better than I do.
Everybody does. It's fine.
I'll make sure not to do it again, she says. And if you're in trouble, just pop the door, okay?
All right.
All right. Well, by the way, Okaat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Eliavar.
Eliavar, I cannot possibly thank you enough.
Oh, absolutely, there's no problem to it. But the name that you should use in case you want to drop my name is Shalabin.
Shalabin.
I wish you luck.
Thank you.
And
I won't let you down.
I'm certain that you won't. And so she points to the door, and she bows her head, and you step through.
Yep.
And as you step through the door, you are in the lunar woods, and you see the town of Sparrow in front of you, and there is a ghastly mist around it, and you hear a soft singing behind you and all around you. Back in the Broken Rock, you see Evangeline just kind of looking at the scrying wheel, and you see her just go, I can't quite understand. So she ran away only to come back. Maybe she found she couldn't make it in the bigger world. Makes sense. Maybe she's come back to atone. If she has, I'll be less severe than I was planning on. Or maybe she's come back to kill me. All of a sudden, she goes, she's come back to Broken Rock. And she sees it winding its way closer and closer, and like so much so that it's like getting close to her door. And she just takes out her blades, and she activates her tenor of blades, and it stops right in front of her door. And she goes, "Oh God, I know you're there. Just walk through the door and you'll be welcomed with open arms." And she waits. And nothing happens. And she goes, And she walks to the door and she opens it. And she sees a little golden scarab. She's like, "Well, would you look at that?" And she puts her blades back on her back. And she picks it up and it's crawling in her hand. And it's like almost looking her at the face. And it opens its mouth and it says,
"Go fuck yourself."
And she laughs. And then she crushes the scarab beetle. "Oh, I'll see you soon, Okaat."